people in front of you. According to how difficult the job is, I know some people that can get through 7 jobs in a day before they give up. And they start a new list of people or put you at the bottom of that list. So when he get through those 7, he can contact the other person.
Right.
I was so disappointed because I myself observe business in our area. They are not business of Afro-American. It's the other people. They are raking in coins left and right. I just don't understand. I love to see a business that's any business that's prosperous, but if I could see more of the black people doing this for themselves. How do you get customers? By insulting them by their age, what you should do, and what I came about the refrigerator. So I told him, when he told me about the Google, I said, I think we're getting off track here. I said, you know what? You can call me if in the event the gentleman can do it. And I walked away, got in the car, drove off. They were standing on the curb staring at the car after we drove down the street.
Right.
What kind of business is this?
We ran an errand, okay. After that, we went home, okay, and, got something to eat, other stuff, and then we ended up going back out. I don't know how much time had elapsed. I don't think very long. We went to the store. We decided what to do about it, independent of what we dealt with at this particular repair shop. That was literally right there. It's close. I mean, really close.
Really close.
Would have been great. Came back, and I was telling Miss Mary that I actually saw those young men standing outside still standing outside, talking to a gentleman in a car, and then there was another gentleman that was on the other side of the street selling something. And he had made it over there. So I think that whatever it is that he was selling, that they were indulging in that, and they just wanted to hang outside or inside this shop and indulge in it. I just, like I was telling Miss Mary, I'm just like, what is this? Like, what is this? And it makes me sad because we've had experiences in the past, and I don't think we're alone, in which I can think of two. There's two. I'm not going to call out their names, but there was one young man who helped us service Miss Mary's SUV in the past. Very knowledgeable. So knowledgeable. Awesome. But how he decided to carry out business and communicate with the customer, Miss Mary, it had me in my feelings, because I was like, the things that was coming out of his mouth and the way he was, but he was very knowledgeable.
Yes, he was.
And he seemed totally clueless of why his business, that I think he was his father as well, was in a state. He seemed totally clueless as to why things were like that. And it was affecting, it seemed like, his personal life as well. And that's another aspect of sharing things that are not on a professional level. Okay, then it's the second guy. This guy was more recent. We had him do something for the house. Okay, and had to do with roofing. Very knowledgeable. Very, very knowledgeable. And he had another individual who actually was the person that referred him and was helping and learning at the same time. But then he opened his mouth and he said these things, and I'm just looking at him like, but he took my interest as I was like of adoration, but it wasn't, because I just couldn't believe what he was saying. I just kind of like, we were having a moment. I just couldn't believe what he was saying. I'm thinking, this individual clearly knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for a while. He'll tell you. But then he had a problem with confidentiality. Like, you go into people's homes, okay, and you do this work that you're very knowledgeable. I was very impressed with that. But then he opened his mouth. And then he's talking about what Miss Mary is again saying about older people. Mm-hmm. This seemed like this was something that was for him, okay? And the things he said about older people, but that was his customer base. So I was like looking at him, and then the more I looked at him and kind of leaned in, the more amped up he got. And I remember the other young man that referred him and was learning underneath him different things for his own business. Mm-hmm. And Miss Mary kind of leaning in, and I just was like, so without these older people that are actually your bread and butter, where would your business be?
Zero. And then
that's like what?
To top it off, because things didn't go the way he wanted it to go, he became. I asked him about doing another part on my roof, which I will pay you extra to go over there and do that
right.
part. Because he was doing the flat part, and then I seen some shingles up on the other side. He went up there, and the one that was learning from it, he started throwing the tools down and almost hitting him in the head.
I couldn't believe it. That scared the mess out of me.
Yes, it did. And I, being the mother in me, I tried to stand to protect the other one from getting hit in the head.
He's the reason why
This is why you made an absorbent amount of money off this roof. Why would you throw something down on his head? And then he was saying that the people that he mentored, young and old, they're stupid. They don't charge enough money for that. And letting you know right then that I rip them off. Now, I know I'm going to be needing some roofing. This man is phenomenal.
He is. I'm not.
And I appreciate his little apprentice guy for recommending, because he had done work for me in the past. Right.
Yeah.
I doubt very seriously that I would happen to come back. And confidentiality is April just pointed out, was a mystery to him. He took out his cell phone, showed me pictures of other people, and he told them this here, and I told them here's how much I had to pay for this here, and this place is located right here in Oak Park, and this here place is. You're not supposed to do things like that. If he wanted to show me some of his work,
I understand that.
I could understand that
makes sense.
Oh, okay. But to give me vital information about these people and how much he charged, one lady, she had to take out a loan to pay it.
So of course, us not doing that, because he gave us two options and we chose that one. He understood, okay, and I understand this is about making money. I understand that I understand. But then after that, he took on like a diva type
No, he said demon.
And then he started to act out, and I'm looking like, and I didn't realize it until we had made it toward the end of the project, and like Miss Mary was saying, there was another thing that to, look at or whatever that we noticed. And then he started to do these things and say these things, and he seemed beside himself, and he started actual tools that you just don't throw down come flying down from the, and I'm like, whoa. And it's sad because that behavior is what people saw, because that was on the front of the house, of the property. And actually one of our neighbors actually came out.
Sure did.
And I was like, I was a little embarrassed, because I was like, and he seemed like oblivious. This is your business. And what killed me was that when he was talking about and boasting about the other things, he had several other businesses as well.
Sure did.
Which I thought was smart in a way, because he diversified. My hat's off to him and his wife that run the business. But then I'm just like, okay, now everybody, if you any future business, people are seeing you don't. I'm like, and I'm just looking at him. And I'm
no
like,
one
wow.
said anything to him to provoke him. We was like tiptoeing around, and because
I'm like, what else he gonna
he
go
was
down?
all in the alley, putting You ain't got this here kind of phone. Do you go to the phone? Do you take your bills to the company? And what if you